Hey, guys. So, we are hopping on live for one of the first times talking about tech gifts. So, I think this one's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be super interactive. I think a lot of you know that I do tech gift guides for pretty much every year on YouTube for maybe the past 6 or 7 years. And I think you guys love this series. I usually try to go in, different price categories. But today I am partnering with Walmart to check out some of their best tech gifts that you can grab this holiday season. I know with Black Friday coming up, of course, Cyber Monday. I know that prices are always kind of going up and down. So Walmart typically has a best deal page. So you'll just have to check on their site. We'll wait a couple minutes for people to kind of filter into the stream. And like I said, if you guys have any questions you want to chat about tech gifts, if there's anything on your wish list in the tech space this year, let me know. I will try to answer them in the comments. And I just want this to be super fun. How is everyone's Christmas holiday season going? I hope you guys are having a really good time. And I just wanted to actually post that we're going live here one sec. So I'm just going to turn this way. And now I can see everything. Perfect. I think we're good. So I think that's enough time for everyone to get into the stream. So the first item that I kind of wanted to chat about, you can kind of see it off to the side this way. So this, of course, is the Nintendo Switch, which needs no introduction. It is still, in my opinion, one of the best mobile gaming consoles that you can get. I know that smartphone gaming has just become way better, but there is nothing better than playing on a dedicated handhold. So this bundle in particular, you can see this is with the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's, of course, for the Switch. Maybe my guilty little tech piece. Kevin is saying, hey, from the Philippines. That's actually cool because I went to the Philippines right before, all the traveling stopped. It's one of my last travel destinations. So thank you from the Philippines. Thank you from New Orleans as we kind of, get into this stream. I mentioned the Nintendo Switch, my guilty tech pleasure, which I'm kind of hoping for Lux, I sadly haven't played. So this would actually be a great tech gift for me. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch comes in so many different bundles, so many different options. So you can see this one. I've got the OG one here. I have it in, of course, blue, in red, and they obviously have the Nintendo Switch OLED, which is the newer one. Sometimes, I typically play on this one. So remember, all these things you can grab in or at Walmart. Just be sure to check the link. There'll be a link popping up in the stream right now if you want to kind of click through. Or you can, just if you're watching after the stream, I know a lot of people will probably watch this video afterwards. You can always kind of check that out after the fact and make sure you check that link. So I want to ask, do you have a favorite Switch game? If you haven't played Mario Kart 8, let me know while you guys are thinking about it. I would say my favorite game on the Nintendo Switch, I know that this is a tough one. I actually have it playing right now. It's Link's Awakening. For any of you that missed that, I am a huge Zelda fan, so I think some of you know that my good old doggo Link. He is named after The Legend of Zelda, which is my favorite game. So if you do have a favorite gaming choice, on deck, I know that the new Breath of the Wild game. Chris, Pokemon. So Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. Have you played that, Chris? I am playing the current Scarlet one. I caught my very first shiny Pokemon, my shiny Diglett, which evolved into a Dugtrio. If you guys are a Pokemon fan, I'm trying to think. My very first Nintendo Switch game was Breath of the Wild. But yeah, for whatever reason, I still am super pumped about the next, not Breath of the Wild. What's the new Tears of the Kingdom? You'll have to forgive me. I think it's Tears of the Kingdom. That's probably the game I'm looking forward to most in 2023. I know that Nintendo keeps teasing us all the time, but if you are a Nintendo Switch fan, I think this is honestly the perfect gift to get. Um, I think for the holidays, like probably like next gen gaming, I would take this over, say, a Xbox. I would take this over a PS5. Um, Hades. Mars says Hades is my fave. I've honestly never played that game as well. I really tried to stick to the Nintendo exclusives. So Luigi's Mansion 3, that's a really big one that I play. Like I said, The Legend of Zelda. I'm trying to think. I actually have been playing Nintendo Switch online. So if I kind of go through mine, Nintendo Switch Sports, Mario Strikers Battle League. These are some of my favorite games. And if you want to keep things on budget, sometimes say you can't afford a Nintendo Switch, they've got some really cool Joy-Con options, so you can buy these Joy-Cons separately. Remember, I'm sure if you click through that Walmart link, I'm sure you will find all of the different price options and even games as general. That's usually a great gift to get. So, like I said, a Mario Strikers Battle League. If you're into Zelda, I think that is probably the best options. You cannot go wrong with a gaming system. And before we move on to the next item, I'll kind of leave it open to the chat. Do any of you have any suggestions? I don't even want to play Nintendo Switch. So it's funny. I actually used to do live streaming when COVID kind of hit, and I used to get like into like my gaming routine. This live stream almost feels like I'm going live on like Twitch or something. That I'm actually like playing a game, which is pretty funny. But if there are no questions from the chat, we are going to switch on over to the next item. So I'm going to push these to the side. And I am going to bring up a laptop. So this one in specific, so this is the Acer Chromebook 315. So the reason why I brought this as a tech gift, I think Chromebooks are great for the more budget conscious people. If you're trying to grab something that isn't going to break the bank, if you still want a laptop form factor, I still think Chromebooks are a solid option. So one of the key things I love to do on Chromebooks is to, of course, watch like YouTube content, watch like things like Netflix. So because Chromebook is based around Chrome OS, you can kind of see all the icons here. I'll quickly pull up, say, for example, like YouTube. So on the YouTube app, that's typically, where I spend most of my time watching. It's funny. You can actually see, dare I do it? I'm going to watch like my stream on stream action is going on right now. That's almost a bit like Inception, that my stream is playing on my recommended YouTube homepage. But this Chromebook in particular, like I said, it doesn't break the bank. If you have any other laptop suggestions, kind of let me know down below. But the 315, I will read off some of the specs. It's got around 12 and a half hours of battery life. It has a 15-inch screen, like I mentioned, and for that price, it still has USB-C. So I think it's a solid option. Obviously, you aren't going to be editing any 4K video footage, but I've noticed from some of my vids, a lot of you say to come out with more, budget-friendly stuff, and I think Chromebooks are some of the most solid options. So in that 15-inch, I guess, price category, I'm trying to think if there's anything that kind of competes with the Chromebook at this price. Honestly, I would prefer a Chromebook over a tablet. I would prefer a Chromebook over, say, like anything larger. So Preston says that he was looking at this one the other day. So obviously, if you see it on stream, someone mentioned Game Pass on Chrome. Yeah, so we were just chatting about gaming. Obviously, Game Pass, say, you're on Xbox, you are getting Game Pass. Because a lot of that is cloud-based, you can game, next level or next gen gaming on something as simple as a Chromebook. That's actually a great suggestion to get Chromebook on to get Game Pass on a Chromebook. You can get it for, a cheap price. And because this is cheaper than, say, like an Xbox, I think that's, a solid option. And Preston was actually eyeing this one. That's pretty funny. So I think that's a bit of foreshadowing that this is definitely like on the list. I'm trying to think if there's any other Chromebooks that I've reviewed lately, but yeah, it seems to be a solid, form factor, 15 inches for watching content, for playing games, I think it's great. And if you're just using pre-installed apps, like I mentioned, you really can't beat the price, the versatility. So I think this is great for students. I think this is great as a secondary device. And even, like I said, if you're just being a bit more budget conscious with everything skyrocketing in price these days, just keep an eye out on this. So I'm going to move on to the next item unless there's any extra questions. Remember, this is the the 315, the Acer Chromebook 315. And remember, if you want to grab this, there will be a link coming up in the chat from Walmart that you can go directly and grab it. So moving on to the next item. So we were kind of chatting about, I guess, Chromebooks or laptops in general, and to have like the perfect stocking stuffer. So I mention this all the time. This is just a portable hard drive. It's an SSD. Why I think these are so great, not just for Chromebooks, but for, say, any laptop that you get, just because the price of storage is typically, I think OEMs charge $300 for 512 gigs or 256 gigs extra. You can double your storage, even triple it for a fraction of the cost. So this one is 1 terabyte and it's from Seagate. You can see the size of it. It makes backing up content so much easier. So I think you know what I do. I obviously am recording a lot of these videos here. So because I have the lowest storage size option on my laptop, every time we fill that up, we just stick them on hard drives like this. I actually am giving hard drives like this exact one to the rest of my help me out, and they are getting these as little gifts in their stockings this holiday season. That's how awesome I think they are. So if you are looking for once again something on budget, something a bit on kind of the cheaper end, if you are looking to kind of pair these together, say this Chromebook and this little hard drive, I think that's a solid option. Am I missing any stocking stuffer ideas? Like in the tech space, what's a solid stocking stuffer? Around that $50 mark. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like in that $50 to $100 space, there isn't really too much that pops into my head. I know that I actually just came out with my gift guide myself. I would say like Game Pass, maybe. I'm just looking at the chat right now. Probably Game Pass is a solid choice. Yeah, maybe like not even video games are that cheap anymore. So in that kind of space, I don't really think you can kind of beat it. I'm literally looking at like my studio now with all my tech, in this little pile down here, and I can't think of any tech that comes to the top of my head. Maybe say like a controller. Like I said, those little Switch controllers. That's around $50. But yeah, maybe if you're like a content creator, everyone wants to be like a content creator. I swear, every time I make like videos, everyone's like, "Oh, what do you use to make content?" And what costs that kind of like money? Definitely questions on that. I am going to probably switch out to the last item. So I'm going to bring this up. I think this is a no-brainer. And if anyone can call that out while I put my Chromebook away, I am going to grab this. So this is the Nest Hub. And I think a lot of you know that I am currently building out a house right now. So the biggest thing that I am looking at is smart home tech, or just, I guess, home tech in general. And this would probably be my go-to choice. So obviously, this is the Google Nest Hub. I love these little things. Like, I want them in every one of my rooms. So I currently have one of my own that lives on my nightstand, and I can always just glance at the time. My favorite tech pastime is to ask Google, say, like, just a random question. It's pretty funny because do you say this in a different language, as an example? And Google will, oh, Google didn't understand. But say, as like an example, say for example, I think I'm having a couple issues with the stream. I don't know why, as we have like gigabit internet. Nothing else is running, but it's okay. I need to actually ask one thing from like Google, because the World Cup is like happening right now. I'm like a huge like football fan. I'm actually heading to Qatar for the finals. For all of my updates, I'm like, hey Google, who played in the World Cup today? So these are the updates. Because I've been prepping for this stream and doing other stuff, now I'm kind of catching up on my highlights. So clearly, Australia lost to France 4-1. That's no surprise. But the absolute biggest surprise was Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia. And I know that Argentina is like one of the favorites. Everyone wants Messi to win his World Cup. So I think that's yeah, that's pretty next level. Also, people use these for I've actually noticed like my fiance uses this in the kitchen to follow along on recipes. So we do have one on our kitchen countertop. So you can ask, "Hey Google, how do you make blueberry pancakes?" So it's found recipes, and you can literally just scroll and find one that you want, and it's like a step-by-step process on how to pick, or how to make a blueberry pancake, which I sadly don't know, um, one of those. So Mars actually just ordered one, and he's super excited to have it in his office. That's pretty dope. Um, Mars, I know that they come in a different kinds of colors. So Google usually changes these out. Let me know which color that you got. And I am sorry to everyone that if I triggered their Google Home, because that tends to happen in videos. Tiago is asking, what are your predictions for the World Cup finals? So because I am based in Canada, I obviously will say Canada versus Holland versus the Netherlands. A lot of people don't actually know that I'm actually Dutch. I have my Dutch passport, Canadian passport as well. So I have to support, I guess, my home countries. Who do I think is actually going to win? Probably Canada. I mean, if you put down like what, I think $5 on Canada at the beginning of the tournament, you'd win like $100,000, something ridiculous. You got to go with the underdogs there. But if we ask Google what the odds, hey Google, what are the odds for Canada to win the World Cup? So Google doesn't know, because they're so bad. So if we actually scroll through, they at least gave me some search options. So Canada is plus 2,000. That's sad. Google, show me the home screen. Hey Google, show me the home screen. Oh, there we go. So it's back to kind of the home screen. So I usually have mine set to, kind of displaying just these really nice like images. And like I said, for the size, for the form factor, I do think that the Google Nest hubs are some of the best. So that was kind of like some of the best tech gifts that you can grab. Like I mentioned, you can kind of click through all of the links that are found through this stream, or if you're probably watching this after the fact, there will be links down below in the description. And remember, Walmart should be your go-to place for holiday shopping this season, not just for tech, but for things in general. They obviously sell more than just technology, but as we are tuned in here for tech, I'm going to quickly go through or bring up on screen all the products that we have and kind of answer any last minute questions. So we have the Google Nest Hub. We had the portable hard drive. So this guy was from Seagate. So remember, 1 terabyte. You can fit 1 terabyte, which is a ton of my videos on there. Next off, we had the Acer Chromebook, which is right there. And last but not least, we had the Nintendo Switch bundle. So this one was with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And like I said, Nintendo Switches, you can kind of expand that into games, into the Joy-Con controllers, whatever your budget price may be. So these are my top holiday tech gifts. I will stick around. I will stick around for a couple extra minutes. If anyone has any questions, we can chat about tech. We can chat about gift guides, or we can chat about the World Cup if you guys want. Yeah, I'm trying to think who I'm most surprised by. I think I mentioned I am heading to the finals in Qatar. So if I could see, if the Dutch made it, I'd be pretty stoked. If if Canada obviously made it, that would be good, but I doubt they will. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure. I think one of the best teams, like Argentina losing to Saudi, makes it like a really, really fun tournament to watch. And I actually did watch one of the games on this Chromebook. I was just kind of testing out this Chromebook, just to kind of test it out. And because it has 15 inches, I was watching one of the streams for the World Cup. So we had Josh Killer saying much love from Jamaica. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I have to head to Jamaica one of these days. And is the Switch OLED worth the extra money? That's a great question. So I'm going to just kind of pop up here because I have the Switch OLED here. So if you play your Switch in handheld mode, so obviously there's the two options to play Switch. You can play this as like a handheld device, or you can dock it and play with your TV. If you play your Switch mostly in handheld, I do think the Switch OLED is worth the money, just because it has a better screen, it looks crispier. But if for the majority of your Switch time, you're just docking your Switch and playing it, say, on your TV, just grab the cheaper regular, I'm going to put that in quotes, regular Switch. It's crazy that the Nintendo Switch has been out now for 5 years, and we're still kicking around with the regular one. For example, this bundle comes with a regular Switch. So I think the main reasoning for that, a lot of people do play Mario Kart on the TV with friends, with family, with all the controllers. And I think that's still the perfect reason to grab just the OG Switch on its own, the Nintendo Switch. So just want to thank everyone for all the questions. Like I said, if you're watching this, after the fact, you'll probably just check out the links from Walmart. So big thanks to them for, partnering with me. And remember, all of your holiday and Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of your shopping, you can just grab through them. I'm just wishing everyone the best over the holidays. Hope you stay safe. Hope you spend time with family, friends, loved ones, maybe watch a couple of my videos. And that's it for me. I'll catch the rest of you in one of my next vids. Peace.